Yes, 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 yes. 1,000 times yes. The Colts need to make this move today. They need to make the move today or tomorrow, end of the week, whenever you got to do it, get the job done. I think this is the person that Chris Ballard and Ursay was talking about when they made all chips in. I think this is the guy. Stephon Gilmore to the Indianapolis Colts. Do you know how much of an upgrade that is at the cornerback position? All we've been stressing about all year, all off season, the Colts fans been stressed. Oh, we need corner depth. We need corners. We need corners. We need defense additions. We need offense. We need targets on wide receivers. We need a left tackle. All of these things. We need a quarterback. All of these things we cried about all off season. And the number one guy, the number one corner in the free agency market, Stephon Gilmore, is available. And the Colts has been in contact with him. So everyone that says Ballard's too cheap, Ballard doesn't talk to nobody. Ballard isn't doing nowhere. Nothing. He's sitting in his office on his phone. He's just playing on the computer, watching TV, watching everybody get signed everywhere else because he's too cheap. Ballard is on the brink of bringing in one of the best corners in the NFL. One of the best corners in the NFL. The fact that he even talked to him is enough for me. I just needed conversation. That's all I needed to see. I just needed to know that he had an attempt. Because a lot of Colts fans said that he didn't do nothing all offseason. They skipped past the Yannick trade. They skipped past getting Matt Ryan. They said he's done nothing but bring back players we already had. So those don't count as moves. But like I said, Chris Ballard has been talking to people. Most people say he's been too cheap. Fair enough. But you also have to say that he's not overpaying for anyone. But when you bring up Stephon Gilmore, whatever he's asking for, you go get him. There's no ifs. There's no ands. There's no buts. I've heard the Colts sent a jet to him. Now, how often do you send a jet to a free agent? Very rare in my books. And it wasn't Chris Ballard that did it. Jim Irsay sent the jet. A private jet to get Stephon Gilmore to hold a conversation. This is completely out the norm. This isn't normal. So I'm pretty sure that Irsay really wants Stephon Gilmore in Indy. I think he wants him just as much as I do. I think I want him more, but I think that he just wants him more as I do. Stephon Gilmore to the cornerback room is a huge boost. Goodbye to Xavier Rhodes. We are done with that experiment. We don't need to see him no more. We are done. If we get Gilmore, we are done with Xavier Rhodes. I don't want to see him. I don't. Isaiah Rodgers can benefit very well from Stephon Gilmore, former Defensive Player of the Year, one of the best corners. Putting Gilmore in Gus Bradley's system. If he gets put on an island, I guarantee Gilmore can hold his own in a one-on-one. I think Gilmore can hold his own. We've had problems with this in the future. But if you add Gilmore, I think this helps the defense tremendously. You put Gilmore on the same side as a top talent. You're asking Isaiah Rodgers to play opposite. Kenny Moore's in the nickel. You got safeties in the backfield. You got linebackers. You got pressure coming off the edge. We know Gilmore forces quarterbacks to not throw to his side of the field. Hence what J.C. Jackson did when Gilmore was in New England. J.C. Jackson had a tremendous season. He was ball hawking everything. I think Isaiah Rodgers can do the same thing. Now, am I saying that he's just as good as J.C. Jackson? No, but you guys know I'm an Isaiah Rodgers fan. I think he can have the same benefit that J.C. Jackson had when Stephon Gilmore was in Indy. In New England. Sorry, I'm getting my hopes up. When Gilmore was in New England, I think J.C. Jackson benefited very well because nobody wanted to throw the Gilmore side. They know how good Gilmore is. So I think Isaiah Rodgers can benefit very well. I also think Kenny Moore can benefit from this. He can be a little bit more in that nickel position. We can get him to come off some blitzes more. I think Gilmore just opens up the defense to being even more dangerous than what they already are. We got edge rush. That's what we needed. But if you bring in Gilmore, this no fly zone. I'm not saying he's the best person out there. I'm not saying he's unguardable. I'm not saying that you can't moss him. But if Gilmore is there, he's bringing some heat. Gilmore is bringing heat. The Colts need to do this deal. Ian Rappaport hasn't brought up the Colts. In my knowledge, I don't think he's brought them up at all. He's brought them up a few times, but he hasn't talked about visits that, to my knowledge. This is huge. He even mentioned the Jet. This is a huge move for the Colts. They need to get this done. Now, of course, people still might say, oh, we're still missing out on Honey Badger. We need another safety. I'm going to be honest with you. If it came down to a choice of who I want more, Honey Badger or Stephon Gilmore, I'm going with Stephon Gilmore. I'm sorry. We need a corner more than we need a safety. Because I don't want to see a corner getting cooked one-on-one. I want a guy that I know that I have trust in. I want to put Stephon Gilmore in that situation. You can say, oh, you're doing too much. You just pulling the tail just because you've seen the visit. Say what you want, but you can look at his numbers. Look at the film, what Stephon Gilmore can do. Everywhere he's been successful. He's been very nice in every team he played for. Even Carolina, when they stink, he still caught a few picks out there. He clamped up a few people. Proof's in the pudding. Bring in Gilmore. You let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section. This is Marcus, and until next time, you've been Culture Shock.